Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Bisal. Welcome to another video. I just got 5th place at locals with 60 card Danger Thunder Bystial. It was a crazy deck. I also played the adventure package. So Danger Thunder Bystial adventure. Anyway, let's get into the 60 card deck profile. I ended up after 5 rounds, 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. So you can see those on the channel. I posted, I think, 4 out of those 5. First up is the Thunder package. We have 1 Battery Man Solar, 1 Thunder Dragon Roar, 2 Thunder Dragon Dark, and 1 Thunder Dragon Hawk. This is the absolute minimum package. I played bare bones because you can access this package with the extra deck. In the future, I think I will cut this, which means I'm probably going to cut Chaos Angel as well. It's just with the adventure package, you only want to special summon this off of Saryuja, but it's a 1 of in a 60 card deck. And if you're drawing this, then you're already playing. So, and you'd much rather special summon a dragon off of it so that you can go into your Pisty play. So honestly, I think I'm going to cut this package down further, but then I won't be able to make Chaos Angel as easily. So I might get an extra space in the extra deck for a second copy of Saryuja. But yeah, more changes to come. So that's the Thunder package. Next up is the Bystial package. So this, we are still maxing out on it. Well, as much as you can max out, because like the deck is so tight for space. 3 Lubellion, 1 Magnemite, 1 Druid Worm, 1 Soraneer, and 1 Baldrake. You just want a bunch of different names. And then the branded Regained, I do main this card because you can just easily set it off Lubellion, and it just gives you an extra draw, and it special summons your Magnemite back on turn 2, which is really cool. Next up, the best normal summon in the deck. This card by itself is the SP and Colossus, and you can do a bunch of other stuff. And I'm saying, like, absolutely by itself. No other cards. So that's a really cool combo. Next up, you can search your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and your Red Eyes Meteor Dragon. So I also play 1-for-1. There's a couple other level 1 targets in the deck, but mainly you want to start off by like ditching an Enchantress to summon out your Black Metal Dragon and go full combo from there and have protection. The deck loses to Droll, but we do have a couple of defensive cards that I'll show you guys later on in the profile. Next up, we have the Chaos package. So Starly Safer, another normal summon that conflicts with the Adventure package, but it's good for banishing and getting back Lubellion or Levianeer. I think I will cut this along with the Baby Dragons. I think I'm going to cut these two, honestly, just to test it out, which seems crazy because these cards are nuts. But the Bystials kind of outclass them. If I can Chaos Space away a Dark Monster and grab either Lubellion or this, even though this does give me 2 bodies, so does Lubellion, kind of, because it gives you Regained and it just gives you a bunch of advantage. And the Bystial banishing power is way better than this, honestly. You just don't need the bodies anymore because this is not Dragon Link. Next up for the Chaos Engine, we do run the 2 Levianeer. This surprises people, but you definitely need 2 in a build like this, especially with Dangers. And after I take off the 1 Safer, yeah, you're like 2 is mandatory. We do play 1 of the prize card. I might cut this too if I'm cutting down on that package. But essentially, this is the one that just popped for 1,000 and add back a banished dragon, and then you can special summon it by banishing from your graveyard. I will miss this card though. Chaos Space can search Lubellion or any of these. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably gonna cut those. To supplement that, we also have Darkest Diablosis, the Lord of the Lair. You can search him with the Melody of the Awakening Dragon. You can also search these 3 guys as well. So there's 4 different search targets in the main deck for this. So that's it for the big dragons and the Chaos package. So next up is the Danger package. So I tried to play as many as I could. So 1 Danger Jackalope, 1 Danger Tsuchinoko, because you want bodies on board. 1 Danger Chupacabra. This always gets sniped, but what's really cool about this is if you draw your Safer with this or any other way to discard like Dragon Ravine or something, you can search this out, and this becomes another guaranteed body because you have Nessie in graveyard. So it just becomes a good Danger. So that's why I just play the 1 of, because it's super searchable. Because you always have Nessie in your hand. 1 Danger Mothman for drawing cards. I sometimes use that effect. 3 Nessie, because it's the only good one at 3. And then 1 Bigfoot. So a cool line is to discard your Nessie to search your Jackalope, and then discard your Jackalope to search your Bigfoot. This gives you a level 8 body that can be used as overlay material, which is really useful for your XYZ monster in your extra deck. Next up, the Adventure Package. We play the max for this, 9. You could play the 10th card, which is the Illegal Knight. Shout out to Emmanuel. But I opted to just play 3 Enchantress, 3 Rite of Aramasir, 1 Fateful Adventure, 1 Dracoback, and then 1 Griffin Rider. So this is your negate that you can set up really early. And if you must go into Saryuja, you can just link it off. This works really well with another package that I will show you shortly. But yeah, it just protects your plays for you. Plays into Droll pretty hard. Foolish Burial, you are dumping either Darkest Diablosis or Saronir to dump a Lubellion, but most often you're probably just dumping the Water Enchantress. Brotar, so this is the last dragon in the deck. This is what you summon off of Spheres, but it's also really good to draw off Saryuja because you can special summon it, discard a danger monster that can either search or special itself, and then search like a Levianir or a Chaos Emperor, and then you get to go into Pisty and then bring it back. So it actually acts as 2 bodies because you can only play 3 Black Metal Dragon. If I could play 6, I would play 6, but unfortunately you can only play 3 of a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is basically another copy of it because it searches it on special summon. The 1 Dragon Ravine, we're still playing Romulus in the extra deck, so you just use a free search. It's kind of a brick if you draw it, but it can get stuff out of your hand that you need, like a Thunder Dragon. So sometimes in a hand that I have a Thunder Dragon and Black Metal, I'll use Black Metal Engine to, instead of going into the Thunder Dragon engine, I'll go into the Romulus, search the Dragon Ravine, and then ditch the Thunder Dragon monster. Next up, this is the package that goes really, really well with the Adventure Package, because you're always going to get to draw 2 cards off of Magician Souls, and it doesn't even use your normal summon. So whenever I see any combination of any of these 3 cards with anything from my Adventure Package, I'm very excited, because if my opponent doesn't have the Droll, then they're going to have a tough time dealing with this. So the reason to play 2 of the Illusion of Chaos, I also did this in Altergeist, by the way, but the reason I played 2 is if I have a brick in my hand that I would much rather have in the deck, because I can either search it or it impedes me somehow, what I can do is I can activate this, search out the Magician Souls, and then put another card from my hand on top of my deck. Then I have another copy in deck in order to dump to the graveyard to special summon it. Sure, I have this as a blank card in my hand, but it's a dark at the end of the day, and I can discard it and actually make use of it in the graveyard by banishing it for Levianir to rip a card from my opponent's hand. Another cool thing about this is, since it's between level 4 and 8, you can search this off of Chaos Space by sending a light monster, which doesn't really come up. Like, you'd have to have Lubellion in hand already, and then another light. So basically 2 Lubellion plus Chaos Space, and then you would search this. But I mean, that is an option. Next up, protection from Droll and Lockbird and Shifter. I got to Gamma someone's Shifter. I think it was Brandon in round 3 or 4. I can't remember. But he was on Trap Tricks. I started my turn, and I didn't have very many plays, but he started by draw phase Shifter. I chained Cyframe Gear Gamma. That was about the best feeling that I had that entire night. That was insane. But yeah, this just is crazy. That card's crazy. So many of your cards start off the turn by searching, so it's just amazing. 1 Called by the Grave, same thing. Like, you want to get rid of the Droll and then Shifter if it's your turn. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. So I main decked this. I'm gonna cut this. It was basically just to give myself a chance against certain back row matchups. And then there was Fire King Snake Eye at locals as well. So if you out their field spell, then it damages their board a little bit. I know that they can recur stuff back, but it's just for like random floodgates. But yeah, it was interesting. It can actually brick you, so I think I'm gonna push this back to the side deck. And then main deck 3 Droplets. This just gives you a chance against certain matchups. Like, if you didn't draw the Bystial against the Gimmick Puppet Lock, you can stop it this way. It's just a good card to have, and then if you draw it, you can just set it and then use it on your opponent's turn. You can use it in damage step. It's great against Tempai, in my opinion. because, yeah, it halves the attack and then negates the effects, which is nice. But I think the field spell protects them, but they don't always have the field spell. So that's the 60-card main deck, but tons of changes coming with that. Next up, extra deck. Shout out to the token for Battery Man Solar and the Adventure Package. Next up, we've got the fusions. So Colossus, and then this is the Trishula fusion. This is the way that you can access the Thunder package without actually drawing it, which is why I was able to reduce the Thunder package so much. You don't need Nemesis Corridor or anything like that, and you can actually plus off of it by getting extra bodies on board, just the nature of banishing Roar for Dark to search Hawk. So essentially, like I said, Black Metal Dragon is a 1-card combo. You put your 3 dragons on board, and then you go ahead and special summon this, and then you summon out your Colossus that way, which is really broken. And it's a dragon, so if you do have other bodies, you can go ahead and link off with it to make Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Next up, the Chaos Angel. Unfortunately, I might have to cut this because I won't have any light level 4 monsters to make it with, but this card's really crazy, and certain matchups, if you just put it on board in defense position, like Tempai, for example, if they don't draw the Imperm, they can't out it with their engine, so pretty good. Hope Harbinger, really good XYZ monster that you can make with your level 8 bodies that protects your Apollosa if you end on it, your SP, your Heavenly Spheres, just anything that you leave on board. You can protect it by redirecting the attack, and it negates a spell, which is really awesome, because now that, what's it called? Baron de Fleur and Savage Dragon are both banned, it really changed the way that these types of decks would play. And you need negates like that. But this is a really nice negate. It doesn't do anything to evenly, unfortunately, but I still really like ending on this because of all of the protection that it provides. Next up, the rest of the extra deck is Link monsters. So we've got Striker Dragon, just a generic. We don't have anything to search off of it, but it's still really broken. Pisty, sometimes you just summon this to be a Link 1. Like, you just need Link 1s. Because Link 1s are the most broken cards in the game. But yeah, putting this under Saryuja or Apollosa is really broken. Heavenly Spheres. This is usually what you want to end on your end board, because not only it bounces, but it also special summons from deck, which gives you the follow-up that you need to kill on the follow-up. This was a new card. I cut Dark for this. So essentially, I don't play the target for it to dump, which would be kind of funny, because you can try and Buster Lock people, but you need DMZ Dragon. The thing is, it's another light attribute that I can easily summon with any two monsters, including tokens, which is super broken. You can change anything into a dragon automatically by playing this card, and it's broken, and it came up, so you can like climb up into spheres or get yourself out of the Pisty Lock. It's just so versatile. I really like this. I was actually thinking of cutting Triple Burst for it, but I kept the Triple Burst in for this version. IP Masquerade, really decent end board piece. If you have the negate up, then you can go for IP. If you don't have the negate up, then you should just go straight for SP. So when they Nibiru you, you can SP banish your Colossus and your SP. So at least your opponent has to get over the Colossus and the SP before they can start to search their deck. Ramulus, like I said, we just play a ton of dragons, so this is just really useful to climb up into if you need to link away a couple things and then search a free Dragon Ravine, which is really broken. Next up is the SP Little Knight. Shout out to Team Bad Cards. Thanks, guys, so much for this. It just steals games. It's so powerful. And then we got the big guys. Triple Burst, like I said, I might cut this one along with the Chaos Angel. I am going to miss the Chaos Angel, though. This rarely comes up because we don't play Borland, because the Rocket cards suck, because there's no good Synchro 8s. Like, the ban list just messed this deck up. So I think we don't need this anymore. The Battle Phase thing is cute, but no one plays Sky Striker anymore. Shout out to Juan. So it's not that useful. Apollosa for the Link 4s, Access Code Talker, and the 1 Saryuja. This should definitely be going up to 2, or probably not 3, but definitely 2, because summoning this is so easy in this deck, especially with the higher danger count. And I'm going to cut the card count down, which is going to really help make it more consistently. Finally, the side deck, Escados. This just destroys Tempai. You summon it, you call Dragon, and they cannot do anything. It's searchable by Brotar if you have another light dragon on field, which almost never happens, but mainly it's searchable by your Melody of Awakening Dragon, because it's a dragon monster with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. So really broken. So basically you play 3 copies of it. Next up, Artifact Lancia. Some decks banish, and you don't like that. it really works well in conjunction with your Cyframe Gear Deltas. So you start their turn off, and you negate one of their spells, and then you Lancia them, so you get to keep your bodies on board, and they can't banish for the rest of the turn, which is really broken. Next up, Droll and Lockbird. Those decks that just add continuously, like this one. It's just really useful to be able to just stop them and then try to kill them with the rest of your hand. Next up, the One Thrust. I only own one. One Talents. This card's pretty good. I used to main this card, but people weren't hand trapping me as much as I thought they would be. I guess this is more of a board breaker format, which is fine. But people aren't playing as many hand traps, so I moved this to the side. That's just like a locals type of tech. Your locals, it might be better to main deck Triple Tactics Talents, but I just side the one so that I can search it off of Thrust, so I have that option to steal my opponent's Apollosa. But not many boards are ending on stuff that you really want to take, so I mean, it's just there for just being there. Another cool search target is the Harpy's Feather Duster. You can search this off of Thrust and just destroy all your opponent's back row. Next up, the 2 trap cards in the entire deck. One Branded Beast. So you can bring this off of Lubellion for the slower matchups and just pop your opponent's cards turn by turn by turn. You can use Dragon Ravine to dump the Sornir, which can dump your Branded Regained, and then this will place the Branded Regained from your graveyard during end phase. So you still end on the full board, but you get to pop cards every single turn with this, which is really powerful. But it's a trap card, so it's in the side deck. And then the other trap that we play recently on the ban list at 1, Anti-Spell is just auto-win, because the only way they're outing your board is with power spells or evenly matched. There's not really much you can do about evenly matched except to side in Judgments or something, but I'm not siding Judgments in my Danger deck. So Anti-Spell can at least help you from like Dark Ruler or Runic matchups or anything with a bunch of spells that can stop you. I opted to play this. So yeah, the matchups were really nice. Unfortunately, I did have 1 draw and 1 loss, but I ended up getting there 5th place, so it was great. Shout out to everyone at TGS and Tinley. Subscribe for more.